So to let's repair this small antique vase. Let's not do anything complex during the Christmas, or at least I thought it's going to be simple when I took it home. It's actually a small vase, not very big, about 8 centimeter jaws, roughly slightly under 8 centimeters, and it seems to be working. This is moving, but there is one screw missing here. Let's call this a repair, not a restoration, because I want to use it, not sell it to a museum. This can actually open until this position, then it stops. There is actually some mechanism to stop it from falling out. Let's remove the remaining screw and let's try to repair it. Nice! Here's the jaw. It's actually slightly chipped here, but it should still work. And hell yes, I was thinking just a missing screw, but half of the missing screw is actually still there. And that's the other screw in it. And they surely hammered the living hell out of it, didn't they? Okay, so from a missing screw replacement, it's turning into a broken screw removal, which might be tricky, or might not be. Let's remove the remaining ones from the other jaw. These actually don't look that bad. Slightly distorted also, but not to the extent of the first screw. And these are the other two from the other jaw. There is also some damage, but they're at least somewhat in an excess in comparison to the other one, which definitely isn't. I guess I can put these two back, but this one is going to be replaced. It's also interesting how each jaw has the holes in a completely different spot, and it's not even centered. It's like they drilled it completely randomly. This is handmade. Not sure how exactly this is old, but probably quite old, and each piece of this vase is probably unique, and the jaws are probably not interchangeable between them. Each piece was probably manufactured different, with these holes basically manually drilled in a kind of random spot. And besides the broken screw, this is getting even more complex because you have piles and piles of old stock screws and used screws. I thought it has to be super simple to replace, just some basic M6 screw based on the size. If, for example, took this one, which visually looks very similar, I was thinking it has to be it. But hell no, it's a different thread. It's virtually the same diameter, but it's more coarse than my new screw actually. This is just a basic M6 screw, which is a 6mm diameter, and the threads are spaced 1mm, but this doesn't fit, because the original one isn't a metric screw. It seems to be something like 1/4 of an inch, which is about 6.3mm, so it looks visually almost the same diameter. The threads are actually spaced 1.27mm, I figured out, or 20 turns per inch, and the length is 3/4 of an inch. Everything's in inches. I guess some countries are still using it or used it until recently, but here it seems to be extinct for quite a long time. My old stock screws, which might be from the 60s, 70s, 80s, they're already all metric, so this is not going to fit. It took me some time to find this. The closest I could get is the same thread, about the same length, very close. The head is a bit bigger. You'll probably have to sand it a bit. At least it fits. Actually goes in, at least to the extent it has to. The head is different, but I can't be too picky. It actually slightly sticks out. I can sand it, I think. That's the small grinder I've built with my grandfather when I was a kid. It's actually self-rotating. You can also use the most old school way. So the screws are flattened a bit so they're not sticking out. Nice. For whatever reason, the new screws actually fit better into the rear jaw, so they go here. And the screws taken from the rear jaw, which are in a better condition, will go into the front jaw. This one will be replaced. You could of course replace all of them, but I'd rather keep the original ones in it if they're still usable, and I only replace the ones that are absolutely necessary to replace. I'm actually not sure what kind of Chinesium the new ones are made of, so any screw left original is actually better. That's the rear jaw now. It all fits well, but I will remove it now to have slightly more space working on this. And this might be tricky. I probably should have started with this one. What if I dremel the tiny slot in it? Now let's try to use a flat screwdriver. Is this going to work? Well, it's actually moving a bit. Well, this is difficult if you also have to record it on a camera. It moved about quarter rotation and it's getting stuck again. Let's deepen the slot. After getting it out a little bit, about 120 degrees, it got out a little bit, which allowed me to make a bit deeper slot, and I can actually get a better grip and it actually comes out. That's it. Is the thread in the hole going to do? Trying the screw from the opposing jaw into it, and it seems to go in. It definitely goes far enough to tighten this one. And now let's try to reassemble it. The old rear jaw screws go into the front one now. This way it just, for some reason, fits better. And the rear jaw with the new screws, which I slightly modified. They're flat enough for this one, which also seems to have slightly deeper holes in it than the front one. Nice. Of course I should have tightened this one before putting this one in. Of course. It's reassembled, tightened, it all fits, nothing sticks out, and it all comes nicely together. Of course, let's lubricate it a bit. Or a lot. And let's lubricate it also from the other side when it's fully opened. There's never enough of lubrication, of course. Nice, super easy to move now. So that's it, it's working, everything's lubricated, and I just have to install it. It's also interesting how these rivets are in sort of random spots. There was probably some label on this, but we will never know. And of course I planned to publish this video at least a week earlier, and of course the next time something electronic, of course. For example, I have these donated 68 watt fast chargers from Lenovo. I have a 120 watt donated failed charger for analysis, an LCR meter, and a bench power supply to explore.